Good evening to all people around the world, especially all Hmong people. Today is not something I want to do, but something or someone whom I love to document for us to keep on, because only once upon a time, there was only one. The only Hmong young man who received a PhD in the early 1970s. He represent the whole Hmong, but many were proud of him, but there were some not quite believe or not proud of. However, there are always take side, no matter what part of world you are living in or what nationality you belong to. Tonight, I am not here to say who is right and who is wrong. But what I can say and be proud of is that there were only one Hmong person from Laos had received a PhD, or we call doctor degree. Today we have over thousands of young men and young women had received PhD or doctor degrees. He is a person whom many young people, including myself, are always admired. I have seen him in many events, but I have never thought that I would have a chance to meet him, not until I try to put a Hmong migration history together. I was afraid to contact him directly in any shape or form, but I know one of his son-in-law. He gave me Dr. Yang Dao's phone number. I was really hesitant to give him a call, but I finally decided to give him a ring. It was great that I call him. At that late night, we spoke about 45 minutes long. We had a very good conversation. We discussed on how to present good side of our Hmong culture and how we had been through for the last centuries to the rest of the world to see or hear. I made an appointment to meet him. We just talk, and our conversation lasts almost 2 hours. He showed me many of his documents, such as the books he authored, photo he took with many height-ranking people and government officials, and videotape he documented in Laos and so on. Almost a year later, I returned to meet him again. This time, I brought a crew with complete camera gear to document what he know from China to Laos and to the United States of America. Here is his short biography. Dao Yang is generally known as Dr. Yang Dao. Dr. Yang is a Hmong gentleman from Laos. He received his PhD in Social and Economic Development from the Sorbonne, University of Paris, France, in May 1972. From July 1972 to March 1974, he worked as director of the Human Resource Department of the Ministry of Planning in the Lao Royal Government. In April 1974, he was appointed by His Majesty King Sisavong Vatana to the National Political Consultative Council, Laotian National Congress, of the Kingdom of Laos. After communists take over Laos in May 1975, Dr. Yang took the road of exile and migrated to France, where he served in a variety of educational and journalistic capacities in Paris. He moved to Minnesota, USA in 1983. Since 1983, he has lived in the Twin Cities, Minnesota, where he has been on the staff of the University of Minnesota's College of Education and the College of Liberal Arts, on the faculties of Hamline University and Metropolitan State University. In 1994, he joined the Board of Administration at the St. Paul Public Schools in St. Paul, Minnesota, where he successively worked as Southeast Asian Culture Specialist, Assistant Director in the English Language Learner Department, and Director of the Multi-Language Communications Office in the Public Information Department. From 1994 to 2005, he was also on the Board of Directors of the St. Paul Foundation and on the Board of Trustees of the Science Museum of Minnesota. Finally, he is a retired faculty member at the Department of Asian Cultures and Literatures of the University of Minnesota, USA. Today, he is a consultant on Southeast Asia education and cultures. Dr. Yang Dao speaks and writes fluently in Hmong, Lao, French, and English, and has a good command in the Vietnamese and Thai languages. He has authored and co-authored several books in French and English. The Hmong-French Dictionary in Vientiane, Laos, 1964. The Hmong of Laos in the Vanguard of Development, in French, in 1975. The Fabulous Adventure of the Poppy People, in French, in 1978. The Dragon, the Master of Sky and His 7 Daughters, in French, in 1978. The Refugees of Origins from Southeast Asia, in French, in 1980. The French Hmong Dictionary in 1980. Handbook for Teaching Hmong-Speaking Students, in English, in 1988. Minority Cultures of Laos, in English, in 1992. Hmong at the Turning Point, in English, in 1993. And Hmong Miao in Asia, in English, in 2004. Dr. Yang has also published numerous articles on Lao and Hmong contemporary history, cultures, and traditions. He is a musician and has composed first Hmong modern songs from 1965 to 1968. Dr. Yang Dao was a keynote speaker in many locations throughout the USA and other parts of the world. He presented in Hmong, Laos, English, and French. He was a keynote speaker at national and international conferences, from French universities to American universities to the Institute of Nationalities in Beijing, China. The roots of the historic exodus of the Laotian multi-ethnic people toward West, France, Canada, USA, and Australia, in French. Presented at the National Institute of Political Sciences in Paris, France, in 1981. Why did the Hmong leave Laos? In French translated into English, at the University of Minnesota, Minneapolis, USA, in November 1981. In Search of Hmong Roots, in Hmong, translated into Chinese, presented at the Institute of Chinese Nationalities in Beijing, China, in April 1988. The Laotians Living Overseas, a reservoir of human resources for development of Laos, in French, presented in the French National Assembly in Paris, France, in November 1997. Realize Your Dream Through Education, in English, presented at the Hmong National Development Association's 4th Annual Hmong National Conference in Denver, Colorado, USA, in April 1998. The Hmong Refugees in Gratitude to the Kingdom of Thailand, in Lao, presented at the Hmong New Year celebration and the official ceremony of the 72nd birthday of His Majesty, the King of the Kingdom of Thailand, in Chiang Mai, Thailand, December in 1999. The Hmong Odyssey from Laos to America, in English, presented at the 10th Hmong National Development Conference in Fresno, California, in April 8, 2005. The Contribution of the Laotian Ethnic Minorities in the Building of Modern Laos, in English, presented at the First International on Laos Studies, Northern Illinois University in DeKalb, Illinois, USA, May 21, 2005. Perspectives of Cooperation Between Laotian Americans and the Multi-Ethnic Population of Laos for Better Future, in Lao, presented at the U.S.-Laos NTR Conference in Vientiane, Laos, in December 2005. Hmong Culture is Hmong Soul, in English, presented at the First International Conference on Hmong Studies at Concordia University in St. Paul, Minnesota, in April 2006. The Contribution of the Laotian Multi-Ethnic Alliance for USA-Laos Friendship, in English, presented at the conference on Legacies and Lessons, Normalization of Diplomatic, Economic, and Cultural Relations between the USA and Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam at George Washington University in Washington, D.C., on June 18 to 19, 2006. The Impact of French Language and Civilization in Lao Society, in French, at the Conference of Francophonie by Alliance Française in Minneapolis, Minnesota, on March 14, 2009. Hmong Agricultural Experiences from China to Indochina, from Laos to the USA and France, including French Guiana, delivered at the Asian Pacific Islanders Heritage Month celebration in St. Paul, Minnesota, USA, on May 24, 2011. How did the Hmong get involved in the secret war of Laos from 1961 to 1975? In English, delivered at Wisconsin University-Madison on May 4, 2012. Hmong Odyssey from China to Southeast Asia and the World Over, in English, delivered at Fresno City College Asian American Month of 2014 on April 4, 2014. Personal Memory of the Hmong Exodus Saga from Laos to the West, in English, delivered at the 4th International Hmong Studies Consortium Conference in January 2017 at Chiang Mai University, Thailand. So now you know who he is by know his short biography and what he had done in the past. Next, I will put my interview with him section by section, what I sat down with him and asked him what did he know and what he did start to finish in detail. We started what he know, what he learned and his research on Hmong people, starting from China to Laos and to the United States. And what is he still doing at the present time? Please stay tuned for the upcoming interview. Thank you for watching.